Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to We Are Athletes 2. This is episode 19, I believe. It is January 11th here. No guest this week. Unfortunately, there was a big incident with a homeless
Stray
dog,
dog
stray
at the
dog
ship household.
at
he
the
said
Kyle
he
Ship
said he
household.
gonna he's gonna name his dog Memphis because it's off the streets.
Yeah, nice.
That, hey, that's what we got rolling. Hopefully, we'll reschedule with him, get him on the pod soon. But yeah. Okay, back to our conversation. We were just having a conversation before we started, and I thought it was interesting enough and like TV mature enough that we could have it in here too. Um,
Sure.
it, is there, in y'all's opinion, is there a difference between athletic smarts and book smarts? Like, can you be both? Is there a fine line? Because we were kind of talking about Jack, and Jack is a relatively educated young man.
Nerd.
Man wanted to go to law school there for a little bit. Did did his undergrad and was it wasn't pre-law, but it was poli sci, right?
Yeah, I did. Undergrad was poli sci with a minor in criminal justice, and my major was or my master's was business administration and data analytics.
And comparing him to someone, we were using Kevin from last week, who is, 4.0 in EE and got his master's in EE in 4 years. Crazy smart, just really smart. But I kind of
Wicked
said
smart.
wicked
Wicked
smart.
smart.
Um,
Wicked smart.
I kind of said that Kevin was more book smart than he was football smart, if that makes sense. Um, I would say that he relied more on his academics in college as opposed to us, who we relied more on our athletics. And that's not discrediting Kevin, because again, he was all conference track guy too. It's just, I don't know. I feel like there's something that happens with football where the number of hits that we take as football players um, kind of add up, or maybe it's almost a herd mentality where the
It's called
people we sur
CTE, George.
well CTE
Yes. Yeah.
well CTE and I'm a very big advocate and proponent of who you surround yourself is who you eventually become. You can see it play out in a lot of different cases, um, but I feel like someone who focuses more on football and is dedicated to that, the team themselves, not the highest collective GPA in the room, but if you take a high GPA guy and you surround him with a ton of football, and that's all he's living with, that's who he's seeing, that's who he's eating with, talking with, partying with, all that kind of direct reflection of who you become in a way. Um, I don't know. I'm throwing it to y'all now. That's kind of like I don't know. I
Yeah, I
think
agree.
that's
But not that like hanging around people on the team necessarily like I don't think made me any less
no.
intelligent or anything. But it just like yeah, you're right in the sense that the people you hang around are going to influence the way you can like you perceive the
Yeah,
world kind
yeah,
of.
definitely impacts the quality of conversation
Yeah.
you have
But I don't
outside
like yeah. I
football.
didn't I didn't I would say I spent my time was like I became more football smart by through experiences and like I spent all my time thinking about football for the most part in college, but like school was just kind of easy to me for some reason. I don't like find myself that smart, just like street smart out in the world. Just like I can't just look at something and know like how it operates, kind of. But school was just easy for some reason. But I don't think necessarily that my grades, like I had a 4.6 in high school, 3.7 in undergrad, and 4.0 in my MBA. But I'm like, I don't think I'm just some like I have really good grades, but it's not like I think of myself as some type of genius or anything. It was just school was easy and I didn't have
Yeah.
to
And
try
and
that hard. It was just kind of like, but school, I don't think school necessarily reflects intelligence for the most part. It almost reflects like
An
obedience.
ability to
how hard you work, like how
to
hard you
just
want to work at
accomplish
it.
tasks. That's kind
Obedience.
of
Yeah. It was just
Obedience.
like whether or not I wrote all my papers and
yeah.
tried at them or not. Like it wasn't whether or not I was that smart, which some majors you just have to be smart. Like I have a friend that's in aerospace engineering at Tennessee that just graduated, and he just is good at that stuff and is smart at math. And I would get blown out of the water. But when it
Yeah.
comes to like just writing a paper and trying to write the paper, like I can find the information, and it's not coming from my own brain. It's just the fact that I can write a paper well.
Yeah.
And,
But
and I think that's definitely true. The only thing I would say to that is like your friend who's in aerospace, I would say he is smart when it comes to aerospace. Dude might suck at English though. But
yeah,
he's
true.
good in his specific field. He's smart in his
Yeah.
field.
May not be able to remember historical dates for shit, but
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where I think me and Kate are both good at that too. Like I could sit down and study history like nothing else. I would get pissed off and be done with math in 30 minutes, but I could sit down and study for a history test for
I can do
3
history
hours
stuff
and really
all
not
day long.
and really not get tired of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think school in general is more of a reflection of obedience than it is a reflection of intelligence. Which I think kind of like the admission process, which I'm kind of not fighting. I don't know. I kind of have an issue with how we do things at Tech because our academic scholarships are only GPA based. And no offense to Arkansas kids, but GPA in Arkansas, I mean, hell, you're cheating your way through that. Half the time, it's a coach that's teaching your history class, and God love coaches, Arkansas coaches, Arkansas teachers and coaches. Most of the time, I mean, they're throwing on a video in class, and you get an A just for coming to class. And I don't know if this was a thing for y'all, Cade. I know we've talked about it before too, but the attendance in schools right now is horrible.
It's terrible, dude.
It's
like
high school.
Yeah, high school.
As far as like kids coming to school or not, or kids
like
being enrolled in general.
No, just coming
absences.
to school. Yeah.
Yep.
It's bad because I'll go for a visit or something, and the counselor will apologize when I get there, and she's like, "I just don't know how many we're gonna have today." I was like, "What do you mean? Like it's a Wednesday. Where are they?" She's like, "Well, I guess the way they've done it, and when COVID happened, they've been able to stack their schedules their sophomore and junior year so that they don't have to hardly take any classes their senior year. So there's only 1 or 2 classes that they're taking. They show up for first period and then they're done."
Can the teachers not administer some type of rule that says if you miss more than X number of days, you fail?
I don't know.
Like that happens in college.
Well, at least how it is in South Carolina, that's definitely the rule, right? You miss, good Lord.
And this is
say the exact total number of days, but you miss a total number of days or like 10 or 12 consecutive days, then you're like dropped and you have to go to alternative school. And alternative school is way more strict, regimented than like typical high school. So, like your entire day at the alternative academy will be plotted for you from 8 to 3 o'clock. From 8 to 8:50, you're here. You are then walked to your next class from 8:55 to it's just like
prison school.
Do you know if that is a reflection of funding? And I say that, I'll explain what I mean by that. So Arkansas is putting something in, I want to say next year or the year after, that the higher your attendance, the more funding your school would get. So they're putting that in place, and
then you could just have teachers just not mark kids absent.
True, or you could have the honor system in a way where
if you're talking school funding,
not a reflection.
Be like, principals will be like, take attendance every day, and I just think honestly, like this group of freshmen is when COVID happened, they were in 6th grade, and that's like for education standpoint, that's a formative year, right? It's your first year in middle school,
huge.
Yeah, and so like you can tell
it's like a big social time.
Yeah,
too.
and that's another thing. You can tell that like they completely just missed on so many like formative experiences because
I can't imagine missing like a developmental year of my education.
Like, we were in college and we were still like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine being in 6th grade, being asked to sit at your computer screen with your camera on, and if we ever had to go back to that shit, I would not be a teacher.
No.
Like late high school missing class, you're kind of like, damn, I'm starting to miss like being with my friends every day. Like that's so fun. Like I'm missing a fun part of my life. But 5th, 6th, 7th, and even 8th grade is such a developmental time where you're like picking up on social cues. Your mind is still developing a ton as far as intelligence goes. That would I don't know if they would like comprehend that they're missing that at the time. Like they might just be like, oh yeah, this is so great, I don't have to go to school.
Yeah, and that's like that's the part that like ruined it for them because like now they're like, wow, I have to go to school every single day, go to every class, and they're like, nah, I'm not going
You
today.
you teased them. You teased them with the
Gave him like,
free
oh,
life of no school.
yeah.
Well, and I
You
think
gave him like, oh, you can be at home and get away with not doing anything and like still being
Yeah.
able to
Just
pass.
dangled a donut right in front of
Yeah.
their face, and now
And
it's
now
gone.
they're like, what? What do you mean I have to come in and sit down and do a do now for 10 minutes? And like, dude, it's great. Like they're smart kids, but their critical like thinking and awareness is like you can tell that they missed some
Yeah.
of those building blocks
Attention
there.
spans are already low these days, and add that into the equation, and it's
Yeah.
just
do
they're not paying attention after 2 seconds.
Yeah.
y'all think again, Jack, I guess all three of us had different kind of high school experiences because Cade missed a fuck ton of class in high school.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Jack kind of went to a private school, so like, hey,
I feel like
like,
you couldn't
I
miss.
don't.
it's almost like
Yeah, I
you're-
don't think I ever missed a day
And the-
of class.
but like I feel like the biggest advocate for me to go to school and was almost the fear of my parents. Like I feel like my parents were like, "Hey, get your ass up. You're going to school." Like if I was not up by a certain time, my dad was in my room, lights on.
I had to be
Yeah.
deathly ill to not.
Yeah, well, like
go to
because
school.
here's
Yeah.
like my thing was it wasn't so much that I missed full days.
Yeah.
It was like I would be there because I had to take Campbell to school. So right, so I was up, right? So first period I was there. Second or third period, it depended on the day. Like if I was like, nah, I would just
You
go
just knew where
sit.
you could get away
In,
with
like,
it.
in the
Kinda?
school, and you had so many kids, right? That like it was very easy to just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out in the student union and play ping pong for an hour and then go to the next class if I want to. Or
And was it
yeah,
just not a big deal to teachers and stuff? But they just be like,
I mean, it was. Now I'm not gonna name drop, but I had a certain someone in the front office who would go in and change my attendance in the deal, so it would like not be. It's like I would come in
flag you or
there.
whatever.
Yeah, I would come in there and be like, "Hey," and she'd be like, "Oh my gosh, what do you want this time?" And just kind of chop it up, talk to her, whatever, and be like, "So, can you please change my attendance?" And then she'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna get me in so much trouble," and then she would do it, and and I'd be fine for the week. Yeah, that's how it worked. That's how I got away
Call her
with it. It
sugar,
wasn't good,
call her
but
sugar a couple times, and get on her
yeah,
good
just
side.
be like, "Oh my gosh, you're the whatever, Miss whatever, you're the best."
It just
If I don't even know, she would never listen to this, but she was the best, and she knows who she is.
but in the way it is today with high schools, it feels like truancy isn't a thing. Like not here
It,
at least.
it's weird, man. It
And I
is
had a
'cause, like,
I had a kid today. I was looking at their transcript just because I'm taking
right.
all athletic. He had 15 and a half absences. I was like, holy shit, dude. If I had 15,
15 ain't nothing,
Through
Jordan. I
half
got
the year?
no, through his entire junior year. 15 and a half
Oh, so like
absences. That's
so
15 days of school. I don't know that I don't know that I missed 15 days of high school.
Oh, I
You missed
missed more than
15 in
that
a
in one
month,
class for
motherfucker.
sure.
You missed 15 in a
Yeah,
month.
if I got on a streak of not going, I would be. It could be a whole 4 days, and then I would show up on Friday or whatever. But yeah, no, it is. It's like you've got multiple kids. Like I've got one kid now. It's our morning class, so I don't really know kind of what his situation is or how. Like he supposedly takes the bus, but he's the only kid that doesn't come to class. He's got like 21 already in my class, but
golly.
he doesn't have that
And
many
he's
in all the other classes. But like he's got 21 in mine. 18 in the next, 15 in the next one, and then just kind of trickles on down to the end of the day. But yeah, like there's like if it is crazy. Like I've got a girl in one of my classes and she's like a good student, right? Like comes like a upper middle class family that you would think would be like, no, you need to go to class. Like if she comes back the next day and I'll be like, where were you at? She was like, I just didn't feel like going. But
At least she's honest.
yeah, I
what's
was
your
like,
primary what's your primary age group?
it's all freshmen, so 14, 15.
So
Yeah.
do y'all collectively think that it's kind of a time of the culture in a sense as well? Kind of a I don't want to do it, so I'm just not going to do it. There's not a lot of discipline, I'd say, in
Yeah,
Yeah,
today's
I
there's
think
definitely not.
parents are becoming more lenient. Attention spans are much lower, and kind of people just turn to the opinion of I'll just do what I want to do, and they're dealing with the consequences isn't even a part of it. Sometimes it's just like I'm just going to do what I want to do, and I won't get in trouble for it anyway. So
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
they just won't even discipline people half the time.
I will say, like my admin is like pretty good about like bringing the hammer down on kids that don't show up
That's
or
good.
do this or do that. So yeah, that is good.
That
Because
definitely
some
helps.
people just threaten and be like, "You need to show up to school," but then kids won't show up to school, and then it's like
Yeah.
an appeasement type thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like
'Cause
if
then
you let
like
it happen once, then it's just a
Yeah.
snowball effect.
Just keep going.
Now,
Just talking education reform here.
so speaking of today's culture, I don't know if y'all saw it in the news this past week, but the whole Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Kimmel on the Pat McAfee show, plus Pat saying what he said on this past Friday as well. I guess I wanted to get your y'all's take on that and what y'all thought about the whole. Because personally, I don't mind Aaron Rodgers. I think he's a very good football player, and when he talks football, I love to hear it. When he gets on some tangents, I don't mind hearing it, but at the same time, I take it with a little bit of a grain of salt because
Yeah.
he's not a professional in those fields, if that makes sense.
No.
Yeah.
He's a conspiracy theory.
It's just his personal
Conspiracy
opinion.
theory guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
And
definitely strikes me as a conspiracy theory kind of guy.
Yeah.
The tinfoil
Like a
hat
big
guy.
ayahuasca in the dark kind of guy. See what he can
But
find.
then again, I don't hold Jimmy Kimmel in high regards. Like I don't know what he's doing with his free time and stuff, but it's not like he strikes me as the most upstanding fella. But
no,
what do
and
I know?
by no means. And Jimmy Kimmel has been linked to the whole. So let's explain it if people don't
Epstein's
know.
Island, baby.
Let's explain it real quick. So just in case there's people that don't know, Jimmy Kimmel had been linked to the whole Epstein thing, on an episode of Pat McAfee show a couple months back, 3 or 4 months back. Rogers has said, "Hey, what a coincidence! There's news of some sort of Epstein list of pedophilia that's supposed to come out, but during that time, the government comes out and says, yeah, there are UFOs." Kind of as like a ploy, like a decoy. Hey, look over here type thing.
Like hey, we've got stuff going on. Look this way.
And he thought, and he said that he was like, what a crazy time for that to come out. And hinted at that. Jimmy Kimmel took that, used it as part of his skit on, what is he on now? Late night?
Is it the late night show? I don't even
I
know.
can't keep up with that shit.
I hate comedy on TV. It's just not funny anymore.
Dude, they're not even it's not even comedy anymore. It's just leftist information at this point.
Which
yeah, exactly.
I'll
it's
get
like
to that
it's like
too.
they're feeding stuff into their ears to say the whole time. Like none of it's funny.
It like SNL really isn't funny anymore either.
Oh, SNL is down the tubes. Have you all ever seen like the old ones when like Eddie Murphy and Will Ferrell were on there?
They were hilarious.
Dude, Celebrity Jeopardy. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. That stuff is hilarious. Funny. And now it's just like, make fun of Donald Trump every other one, and then throw in some random crap. And it's just
then like the thing about it is like Donald Trump's not even the president, guys. What are we doing?
Why are you all so worried about that man? Leave him alone.
Well, and I'll get to that part too of the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. But Jimmy does his skit, and then months go by. It's I think was it Tuesday? Past Tuesday.
That sounds right.
Rogers hops on the pod. Yeah, because it's Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays. Rogers on the pod. They get to talking. And I guess that was around the time where the whole there's a release coming at the new year of the Epstein client list. And Rogers basically comes out and says, everyone's hoping that list doesn't come out, including Jimmy Kimmel. Now, with no context, you're thinking, okay, Jimmy Kimmel, he's inferring that Jimmy Kimmel is going to be on that list. Now, Jimmy Kimmel has his links to Epstein. I want to say his personal chef or his best friend. I think it's his best friend was Epstein's personal chef or something. So like, there's some connection there. I don't know the validity.
Definitely been there.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know the validity to it. But Aaron Rodgers says that. Now, again, with no context, it looks bad. But if you remember back to Jimmy Kimmel making fun of Rodgers,
their little previous beef.
He basically said he's uneducated. I think he even brought up concussion protocol, and basically saying that list doesn't exist or there's no such thing as that list. And that's how Aaron took it. And Aaron saying Jimmy Kimmel hopes that list doesn't come out too, is inferring that Aaron Rodgers would then be right. He would be smart, not that Jimmy Kimmel is on the list. So big mix up. Jimmy Kimmel comes out and tweets, "Hey, asshole, AASS hole." That was pretty funny. Hey, asshole. Basically threatens to sue him if he keeps talking about it. And then goes on his Monday night special, does a 7-minute monologue about the shit. Only funny part about his monologue was him saying that Rogers made 2 A's in school and they were both in the word Aaron. I mean, that was literally, I did not crack a smile at that entire monologue. It's just not funny. Jimmy also said, I have 10 writers that help fact check proof and all this. And it's like, I just don't give a fuck, dude. You're not funny enough to make a real stance on this.
Yeah.
And then Rogers comes on and clears it up and basically says, "I'm not fucking apologizing," which, to be honest,
Which good for him.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, people need to stop the whole apologizing thing.
But again,
what did Drew Brees come out and apologize for? Like he
his birthmark?
tweeted something a couple of years ago. No, but there was just like a time frame like 2 or 3 years ago where if anyone got any flack for anything, they would immediately come out and apologize. I was like, just be secure in who you are and what you said. Like, don't go back on your word all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just that's today's culture though. Then kind of wrapping it into that. It just feels like a lot of cancel culture, a lot of I don't want to see that, I don't want to hear that. Get him out of here. Let's cancel him. There's a whole lot of stuff going on at ESPN right now too, with the whole Pat McAfee show. He came out and said, there's an executive that is trying to cancel our show, was giving false ratings to execs, in hopes that they would
not
get
hear
the show.
about that.
Yeah, giving them false ratings in hopes that the show would get tanked. Pat McAfee called him out by name on the show.
Dude, Pat McAfee is single-handedly breathing life into ESPN right now.
Now, I agree to an extent. Unfortunately, the face of ESPN at the moment is still Stephen A. Smith. And he had his own stupid shit yesterday. Jason Whitlock, who used to be on ESPN, he called as known by Stephen A. Smith as the fat bastard. I guess Whitlock was calling him Stephen A. Myth, questioning the validity of him playing high school basketball, college basketball. Again, just petty bullshit. Stephen came out and was like, "No one fucking likes this guy. Look, he has no job. Look, he works for Blaze.
Has no job.
He works for Blaze TV." I've never heard of that shit.
Blaze never.
But
never heard
again, going on a vulgar tirade of, and then not backing any of the facts either that Jason Whitlock brought up. None of that.
That's his whole MO though, is just to say outlandish stuff and get reactions to it.
But again,
I don't think Stephen A. Smith knows his ass from a hole in the ground about sports. I think he just makes outrageous claims, and then everyone's like, is up in arms about it, and he gets publicity because of it.
Who did he call a bona fide scrub? Who was that? Do y'all remember? He played for the Lakers. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
I can't. I remember vaguely that happening, but I couldn't tell you who it was. Dude, that thing is so funny though. And he does.
This man is a bona fide. This man is a bona fide scrub.
His first move as an executive was to sign Lamar Odom.
Who was on crack.
That thing's so funny.
Supposedly that guy who he was talking about there came out and said that David Stern, who was the commissioner at the time, basically told Stephen A. Smith what to say and how to say it about different people in the NBA, which is where he gained his traction and his popularity from.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. The whole industry is kind of weird, but I find it interesting that we have two controversial things, kind of a changing of the guard, because Stephen A. Smith is loud, but also a kiss ass in a way. And then you have Pat McAfee, who's unapologetically a human being. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. So,
and then you got Scott Van Pelt, who's the good old fella.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy. Scott never chimes in. You never hear anything about Scott. I kind of wonder.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be. He's a reporter.
But I wonder what he's actually like. I wonder if everyone likes Scott, or if Scott's one of those guys that goes to work, goes the fuck home.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that's
he's a good personality. I enjoy listening to him.
I
He
do
doesn't
too.
have any
Big,
hot
big
takes or
news out of
anything,
New
but
York City right now. Juan Soto signs to a 1-year deal with the New York Yankees.
I think it was an arbitration deal.
Arbitration, 1 year for $31 million.
That is correct. Yeah, I did see
Pete
that.
Alonso going back to the Mets.
Yes, for 1 year, 18 million,
I think it was 22, 20.5.
20.5. Nice.
you know who's going to be the same old average to below average team?
Hmm.
The St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh,
Yeah, y'all didn't make any moves. Oh my God.
the
No, we
Cubs.
don't do anything.
The Cubs
And
signed
Marcus
We got some
Alon.
pitching.
Stroman is also headed to the Yankees.
Or
Who?
we got Sonny Gray. That's
Stroman.
somewhat.
Stroman, is that confirmed?
Stroman to the
Stroman to the
Yankees.
A's? Oh, the Yankees.
Has Blake Snell signed yet with the Yankees?
I have
Not to
not
my
seen
knowledge.
anything. So a source familiar with the situation told me that the Yankees offer to Snell was 5 years for 150 mil, and
A lot of money.
Snell rejected because he wanted more money or 1 more year.
Am I the only one that's of the opinion that the Yankees could sign like just the entire Avengers to their baseball team and still suck?
And
Like,
still get
he'll
booted
be
in the
mediocre.
ALDS.
Yeah. At what point do you look at the manager and you say, "Hey, our manager, our pitching coach, and our hitting coach fucking suck"?
Something's wrong here.
Like
Cashman sucks.
their pitching staff, I
Year in,
think.
year out, they just drop loads and loads of money, and they just haven't done anything better. They haven't
They
improved.
haven't
I
been
want to
good
say
in-
their pitching.
like, they're always good, but they're never great.
I think their pitching
Yeah,
staff's
yeah.
ERA has been over 4 the past 5 years. It feels like, and it's
Mhm.
not close to 4 either.
No.
They're Mark Richt, Georgia. They would always go
Ooh, that's
9-3 and make a good bowl game, maybe
That's
get
good.
10, 11 wins in a season, but that's it. That's just all you can do.
That's a good.
They can't get over the hump.
Fun fact: where did Mark Richt go after Georgia?
Miami?
Miami.
Yeah, Miami.
Miami. Useless facts with George. Okay, now that we've got our little that was our intro. Fuck it.
I like it.
I guess this week that's our intro. Now that we've got that, we've kind of gone off on tangents and talked about how we feel. Let's do an immaculate or let's do a jet punk. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, buddy.
Ooh, yes.
Okay. So the jet punk this week is all the Bolitnikoff Award winners since 1994.
Boom.
And I'm not going to get 1994. I guarantee that.
No, the oldies are going to be hard.
The oldies and the small schools are going to be tough. I do
We might as well
know.
just start at the top.
I do know this.
We
You
might
want
as
to
well
start
start
at
most
2022?
recent.
Okay. So
Oh, they
2022.
don't have Ohio State on it.
2022.
No, that's Jalen Hyatt.
Jalen
Yeah,
Hyatt.
that is Jalen Hyatt.
J-A.
L-E-N, maybe.
I think I clicked on caps lock. My bad. H-Y-A-T-T. Nice.
Nice.
Pittsburgh.
Pitt is Jordan Addison.
Addison. Yes, it is.
Bama is going to be Vontae Smith.
Devontae Smith.
I think it's with an A.
Is it Devonta?
Yeah, it is
I
Devonta.
think it is Devonta.
I always see Devontae.
Did he win that and or was he the 21 Heisman winner?
No, he won
He
that.
won the
and
Heisman.
Oh, he won both?
Yep.
Yeah. LSU is
Jamar Chase, I think.
either him or Justin Jefferson.
It's Jamar Chase.
It's Jamar.
Pull
Jammer.
a rabbit out of a hat on that team.
Jamar.
Or a car out of a hat and just pick anybody. Oh my gosh.
I think there's an
Oh, well, it was an
you were
apostrophe.
on it.
There was an apostrophe. Don't shoot the messenger there. Is this
Calvin Ridley?
Calvin?
It's not Henny Ruggs.
Ooh.
Not Calvin Ridley.
Jerry Judy.
Judy. Good one. Judy.
Oklahoma State.
17.
Oh, I remember who this is. This is Washington. This is his last name.
Yes.
What's his first name? What is his
Can
first
you
name?
see if you can just do last name?
Nope.
Washington.
James
Washington.
Good pull.
Oklahoma. Ooh, I don't
CD?
remember this one. Nope.
No, it wasn't CD.
It's not
CD Lamb.
It's not Sterling Shepard. It's not CD.
Oh, that's
Lamb.
way too early to be CD Lamb. Oh, it's
No,
not
it's-
like Brandon
it's-
Cooks or something, is it?
No, Brandon Cooks is Oregon State.
Is it D.D. Westbrook?
Yes, that's who it is. A DD.
A D. I get nice.
Baylor. This is gonna be tough.
The Big
Oh,
12 had a little run there in 15,
oh,
16, 17.
oh, I
This
remember this one
was
too.
RG3 time frame,
No,
What
a
is
or was
little
this?
he
after
earlier?
RG3.
Oh, I know this one. He played for the Giants, I think. Oh, what is his last name?
Not Sterling Shepard or something.
No, Sterling
No,
Shepard went to
Or
OU.
he was OU. He's a Oklahoma City kid.
I mean, Victor Cruz is way before that.
I don't know.
Golden Tate's on here somewhere, but he's Notre Dame, I think.
Yeah, he's owning Notre Dame. Fuck, what is
Notre
his name?
Dame.
What
I
is
don't
his
know.
name?
Baylor, I don't know. 2014, is that
14
Julio?
Bama.
Julio?
that? It could be Julio. Might
Nope.
be. That one might be.
Julio's older than that.
2014 Alabama.
So this is the first year of the playoff. So they didn't win the national championship, but it's that era. Who's a big receiver that's that age? Do Brandon Cooks for Oregon State, what do we think? And Golden Tate.
Golden
That's a cool name, Golden Tate.
Justin Blackman.
Michael
Bama's got to
Crabtree.
be. It's not Calvin
There, we
Ridley.
got it. Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. That's it. That a boy. I know.
I just gotta go back to
we
Ole
got
Miss
Michael
games.
Crabtree. 06 is Calvin Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that another Oregon State?
Yes,
05?
it is. I can't remember who that one is.
Ooh, is there a Marshall on here?
Yes, it is. It's
That'll
right
be
here.
Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Pitt
Randy.
Pitt in 03 is going to be Larry Fitz.
Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Good one. We're getting into a tough.
I know
patch
95
here.
is Glenn. 95 is like Thomas Glenn or Terry Glenn. Try Terry Glenn. Try one more in.
Is it? Yeah, Ian.
Oh, wow. Good
Hey,
shit.
nice one.
Terry Glenn. I remember that from TikTok.
Who's a La Tech?
Yeah, it was
Outlier there.
it was the Pitt, Stanford, and Louisiana Tech. I remember seeing on that TikTok, and I still don't know who they are.
Hell, Pittsburgh, I can't even remember. I knew one of them was Larry Fitz. That was it. Now we're getting into some territory that I don't even remember these dudes.
Oregon State.
I mean, these are like the ones we're going through right now would have been in their primes when we were like 8, 9, 10 years old. That's even pushing it for receivers.
This one right here, USC.
Uh,
2012 USC.
I don't recall the name being familiar. 2010, is that what we're looking for? 2012?
12. 2015 Baylor.
I was going to say Amon Ra, but Amon Ra's way.
2015 Baylor, George is something Coleman.
Corey.
Kevin
Coleman. That's it.
Nice, bro. Thank you. That was gonna kill me.
I knew it because his quarterback was Bryce Petty.
Yes.
Yep,
Dude, they dropped yards too.
Yeah, they did. They were good.
2012 USC.
It's a name I don't. Yeah, he was like not relevant, and
I don't think he ever did anything in the NFL.
How did Kelvin Benjamin not win this? Wasn't he a complete dog at Florida State?
Yeah,
he was good, but he was not great. Like he was 1,000-yard receiver.
Better than Brandon Cooks.
That was like 20.
Was that his year?
I think so. That was one of the years that they went to the
2012.
national championship with Jameis.
Brandon Cooks was a animal in college. In college. Like really, really good in college. Fun fact,
South.
what city is he from? Brandon Cooks.
Dude. I don't know.
Is it in Texas?
It is. It's a big
How
city.
Is it east or west?
Plano,
Neither for East or West. No,
San
it's not
Antonio.
Plano. Nope.
Waco.
Nope. Houston.
Austin.
Oh, Houston.
Houston. He's
That's more
H-Town.
What high
nice.
school?
H-Town. Now, there is a fun fact about Brandon Cooks that I'm willing to guarantee you guys don't know. Twin brother. Both went to Oregon
Oh,
State too.
How about
man,
that?
talk about being outshined.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get any more on this?
Actually,
Let me
maybe
see,
not.
'cause I'm
Maybe I'm
not.
thinking of
I'm,
Jacquizz Rogers.
I'm out of names.
2012. It's Marquise Brown. Marquise.
No, not Marquise Brown. Too new.
Marquise Brown didn't go to USC either. Now that I think about it. He went to U.
We'll give it one more shot. One more USC receiver.
It's not Juju.
No,
I don't even remember them being good at that time frame.
I don't either.
I'm giving up.
I don't know.
This is tough.
Bobby Ingram for 94. Marcus Harris for 96. Troy Edwards from Louisiana Tech. Troy Walters, back-to-back Troys at Stanford. Antonio Bryant at Pittsburgh. Josh Reed for LSU. Charles Rogers for Michigan State.
Oh, you're right with Marquise.
Oh, it was
Marquise Lee. Okay. Braylon Edwards
I don't think I'd have
for
gotten
Michigan.
around.
Mike Haas for Oregon State. And then Marquise Lee.
Yeah, good give up, boys. I wouldn't have gotten a single one of those. 0%.
We don't see that very
Wow.
often.
Wow.
How was that?
So
You tell me one person didn't know these people?
You're telling me somebody didn't Google it and then take the quiz?
Yeah, that's shocking.
All right, time for our immaculate grid. Down the side for our listeners, we have the Rams, Broncos, Patriots. Across the top, we have Steelers, Seahawks, and 1,000-yard rushers.
Nice.
What do y'all lead us off with a big one? Todd Gurley's the obvious answer, but does it include St. Louis? It does include St. Louis.
Yes.
So Marshall Faulk.
I was gonna say Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
What's old dude? What's old dude with the Steven whatever? Steven what? Had the dreads that played for the Rams.
I just want to get the squares.
I want to get all the squares today. It's Marshall Faulk's got to be up there.
I mean, Todd Gurley is the easy one, but we'll go Marshall.
Then you got Todd Gurley too. Going for the rarity.
16%.
Oh yes,
not bad.
Nice.
What is Steven?
Patriots was
Corey Dillon,
Brendan Bolden, 1,000-yard guy. If you know an obvious one, then go for it.
Broncos 1,000-yard. Terrell Davis.
Nice. Run it up.
Okay. Broncos Seahawks. Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Did Malcolm Butler play for both those teams?
Rams Seahawk Bobby Wagner. We good with that one?
Yeah.
Jesus, 85%.
Dang.
Malcolm Butler didn't end up playing for both of them, did he?
No, I think he was just.
He just made that interception. And that's why I'm tying them together.
He might have.
Just made the damn.
For some reason, I have like some image in my head of him eventually playing for the Seahawks, but maybe not.
Give me 1 second. I gotta check the radar. I'm hearing thunder real quick.
This man, Weatherman George. Ram Steeler.
You know who played for the Rams and the Steelers?
Who was the one that won the world or won the Super Bowl? Eric
Jerome Bettis.
Did he play for both of them? Jerome Bettis
played for both of them.
Ooh, good pull.
The bus. So, fun fact about why I know some Steelers information is because my kindergarten teacher, who I had a massive crush on, was a huge Steelers fan. So I would get football cards and bring them to her like every Friday.
Nice.
Yep. It's good stuff.
Nice. That's good.
Now, Broncos Steelers.
Did D'Angelo Williams play for the Patriots?
I don't know. I always remember him as a Panther.
He played for the Steelers at some point.
Did Mendenhall play for the Broncos?
Was Emmanuel Sanders a Steelers and a Bronco?
I believe you are correct.
Emmanuel
I'm just gonna-
Sanders,
Emmanuel Sanders.
wide receiver. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, the rarity score isn't on for us today, but that's okay.
Juju never ended up with the Patriots.
I think he did.
I think so. Yeah.
I think he
I
was
have some
there.
recollection of that.
I think he was there before the Chiefs. Do we go with it or do we hold off for a second?
Oh God, this is
We've got guesses.
Yeah, not to not to finish it.
Huh?
Not to finish it.
an easy one would be Antonio Brown.
Was he a Steeler or a Patriot?
Yeah, was he a Patriot or was he
I know he's a Buck.
He was a Buccaneer.
a Patriot? Shit.
I don't think he was.
Now I'm thinking
I don't
about it.
remember. Randy Moss was never a
That's
Seahawk or a Steeler.
literally just who I was thinking about. No,
I-
Marshawn Lynch
You know
was
what?
never a
You know
Patriot.
what? Let's say fuck it, guys. Let's go Juju.
I have some recollection of Juju playing for the
I feel like
Patriots for a little
Juju
bit.
was on both.
Oh, let's go.
Boom.
I thought it was risky, but I also agreed with y'all.
I don't know for Patriots Seahawks. I got no clue.
Okay, Patriots Seahawk.
We better not fuck this
Jamal
up.
Adams that was ever a Patriot.
No.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. That's an onion, not football.
Good luck, man.
Cool.
Tom Brady. I've been playing for about 30, 45 years.
Matt Hasselbeck?
I feel like that's a good one, George. Roll with Matt Hasselbeck.
Was Drew Bledsoe ever?
Jarrett Stidham.
Guesses left one. Why do we?
Oh no! Wait.
No.
Guesses.
Seahawk.
Not Bronco. Damn it.
Seahawk, Patriot.
Patriots Seahawks. Where does Juju play now?
Kansas City.
That's right.
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis was never a Seahawk, as I recall.
Potentially, but I don't think so. Eddie Lacy ever a Patriot?
Eddie Lacy.
I don't. He got fat. He played for the Packers.
He
I
was
think.
so
He
fast.
played for the Packers and the
Yeah.
Seahawks.
Talking a crazy thing, he had clauses in his contracts that if he lost a certain amount of weight or maintained
Yeah,
like
and
under 250
still-
pounds, then they would pay him more.
Yeah, that was the
Still-
Seahawks. That was the Seahawks that put that in his contract when
Really?
he signed with them.
Go for it.
No, I don't think he was. I don't think he was a Patriot. Marshawn Lynch was never.
Richard Sherman wasn't.
Never a Patriot, as far as I know.
Who did Eric Weddle play for?
Chargers, Ravens,
Chargers, Ravens, Rams.
I think so.
He was on the Rams when they won the Super Bowl.
I don't think he was a.
Josh Gordon.
None of like the.
Ooh.
Kind of going back, literally
Ooh.
our conversation we had about a certain someone before the pod, it was just crossing, and I was like, wait a minute, there was a guy who I know got in a lot of trouble for this.
I don't know if he ever officially signed
know.
for the Patriots. I know he signed for the Seahawks.
I know he was with the Seahawks, but I don't know if he did sign with the.
Oh, I think he played for the Patriots. I feel like I specifically remember that, and it was like a big. It was a big ordeal.
I don't know that he ever fully played. I think they intended to sign him, but they just couldn't.
Didn't he? Oh man, that's hard.
I think he played.
Do we try it on our last guess?
I think you try it.
Don't hold
If
this.
Malcolm Butler's on there, maybe.
Don't hold this against me, guys. This is just a.
I have some type of recollection of this happening.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Boom!
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Well done.
Thank you, Damari.
Wow.
Deion Branch was the most popular.
Who is
Can you
that?
can you
Wide
can you look
receiver.
at the Seahawks Patriots and see if Malcolm Butler's on there
Yeah, I can check it.
for Division II
55.
purposes? This is our D2 point of
This is
the
our
day.
D2 tie right here, boys.
Joey Galloway. Receiving. Oh, wait, all players.
Good defense.
Is there a defensive category? No, there's not.
Just Command F that shit, George.
I don't want to. Malcolm. No.
Butler played his first 4 seasons with the Patriots, and then spent the next 3 with the Titans.
Ah,
No Malcolm Butler,
dang it.
unfortunately.
Wow. Good round, fellas. Good round.
That was
How
fun.
about that? A complete grid. That's good stuff.
That was good. Got the
All
whole
right,
immaculate
for
grid.
our last game of the day,
Oh, yes.
let's
I'll stop.
select.
Let me stop sharing. Oh, yes, it
If you
didn't
want
fuck
to,
up this time.
if you want to share a NFL bracket, playoff bracket,
Let's
I
see what
like
I
it,
can
George.
Google.
Do that.
just look at that instead of me having to read it off to you. The only caveat to this is that you have to remember the lowest remaining seed will play the Ravens and the 49ers. It doesn't just go 5-4 to the it doesn't go to the 5-4 game immediately plays them. It's whoever the lowest remaining seed is. So like basically if a wild card team wins, they're probably going to play the number 1 seed.
Do you want to do we want to do NFC first?
Yeah, NFC first is fine.
Okay, let me share this. Okay. I kind of have it half pulled up. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I can see the NFC.
Big shout out to Fox.
Nice. Thanks, Fox.
All right, Cade is up first. Let's just go top down. Eagles, Bucks.
All right, so I'm going to go Bucks
You go Bucks. All right,
to win. Yep, I'm going to go Bucks to beat the Eagles.
that would be a 4 seed win.
That would be all right.
George, who you got in that game? Or let's just go. Do you want to go game by game or all of Cade's and then all of
let's
yours?
let's all do game. Oh, well, that makes it hard because we have to remember seeding. Let's do Cade's first. Let's do Cade's first.
We'll do mine first. All right. So I'm gonna go the Lions to get the win over the Rams.
Stafford back in Detroit.
Stafford back in Detroit.
You got Lions.
Right. I've got Lions, and then I've got Cowboys to beat the Packers.
All right, so then that relieves you with your first game will be the 49ers and the Bucks.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Are we doing the whole thing now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's go not Bucks. Sorry. Let's go Niners to win that one.
49ers there. All right, your other game is going to be Cowboys Lions. And it will be in Dallas.
Sorry, I'm paying attention. I'm just checking the weather real quick.
Let's go. I want to go Cowboys, Jack.
Cowboys
are
going to break the streak of being terrible in the playoffs.
Exactly.
All right, now you got 49ers, Cowboys in San Francisco.
All right, I'm going to go Niners.
49ers. All right.
Yep.
That'll end your portion, and we will flip over to George.
Here we go, Georgie.
Okay, let me go Eagles, Rams, Cowboys, which gives me Niners,
Eagles, Rams, Cowboys.
Which gives me Niners,
so then
Rams,
49ers,
Cowboys.
Rams, yeah.
Give me the Niners over the Rams, and give me the Eagles over the Cowboys, and then give me the Niners over
Eagles over the Cowboys.
Yeah, and then give me Niners over the Eagles.
All right, mine is I'm going the Rams to beat the Lions, the Cowboys to beat the Packers, and the Bucks to beat the Eagles. Then I've got the Cowboys beating the Bucks, the Rams beating the 49ers.
Whoa.
And the Rams beating the Cowboys. I got the Rams. Whoa. Rams going to a Super Bowl.
Holy.
Dang.
That's insane.
Dude, they're hot. I'm just saying. The Rams are hot right now.
That's bold. I just scrolled down.
The 49ers Rams matchup. I just like a I like a more seasoned vet quarterback that's been there before, as opposed to Brock Purdy.
That's fair.
All right, am I
All right,
doing you? All right, I got the AFC here, Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna go Browns,
Oh,
Browns
Chiefs,
first.
and
that's a tough but easy one.
give me. I know, but I'd like. Do I want to pick the Steelers? I want to emotionally,
Just no.
logically though.
There's just no
I
shot,
have
right?
to pick the
They're
Bills.
10-point dogs, I will say.
Yeah, I gotta pick the Bills. Unfortunately,
All right.
Steelers fans.
That leaves you with Ravens, Browns, and
Browns. Give me the Browns.
Wow.
Browns.
Joe
Wow.
Flacco
Wow.
goes back to
Flacco,
Baltimore.
Joe
Baltimore.
Flacco.
Whoa.
Flacco
All right,
back in Baltimore.
Chiefs, Bills. This time it will be in Buffalo.
Bills for show.
Bills?
Whoa.
Bills.
Bills, Browns. Who you got? It'll be in Buffalo.
Give me the Bills.
The Bills.
Are the Chiefs not the higher
So-
seed than the Bills?
No, the Bills are 2. The Bills beat them in the regular season.
Oh, that's right.
So Cade's Super Bowl, we can wait on this one, but you will have the Bills and the 49ers.
Give me the Bills.
And the Super Bowl is where this year?
Where is it this year?
It's not Miami, is it?
Fuck, I knew where it was, and now I can't remember. Does it say on this graphic?
Let's see. Yeah. Where is the Super Bowl this year? It's in Vegas.
Oh, Vegas.
Oh, it is. It's in Allegiant. All right, so your champion is the Bills?
I'm going Bills. Bills to finally get her done.
Dude, the stuff about freaking Josh Allen is cracking me up on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, God.
All right, George, go ahead.
Texans, Dolphins, Bills.
Texans,
Dolphins.
Bills.
Woo-hoo.
So
Dolphins
that leaves
is
you with
30-degree wind chill, eh?
I think their run game gets it done, honestly.
Did you see what they are, like under 40 degrees?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
They're 0-10 in
I'm
the
gonna-
last 10 games when the weather's 40 degrees or less.
Yeah, but damn, fucking the Chiefs have looked so bad this year
Chiefs
for me.
have looked like dog water.
all right, you got Ravens, Dolphins in Baltimore.
Ravens.
Ravens. And then you've got the Bills, Texans in Buffalo.
Texans.
Texans, wow. Is there some bias there?
No, actually,
Texans
I really like their offense. I really like their
All right.
offense, and I think their defense is young.
Ravens, yeah, they're a good team. They're well coached as well. Texans, Ravens in Baltimore.
Ravens.
Ravens leaves you with the Ravens and the Niners in Las Vegas.
Give me Niners.
49ers to win it for Georgie.
They're just too good a team.
Yeah, they're really well rounded. I am going with the Texans. I wrote down Browns first, switch to Texans. I'm going with the Texans to pull it out. It's in Houston, so I'm giving the nod to them. Then the Bills and the Chiefs meet, and the Bills win it. Ravens, Bills. I'm going with the Ravens, and then I will take the Ravens to pull it out against the Rams in the Super Bowl.
That's a crazy
Ooh.
Super Bowl.
That'll be interesting. We've got a variety of teams here.
We got a good spread. Y'all
Yeah.
both have 49ers making it. I've got the Rams making it. And then me and George have the Ravens, and Cade's got the Bills.
I don't mind that one bit. It'll be a very interesting playoff this year.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it.
So let's talk about this first game. 3:30 Saturday. Browns Texans in Houston.
NRG.
I know me and Jack both like the Texans to win outright. Browns are 2-point favorites. Total set at 44.5. I think this game's won and lost with the Browns defensive line. If the Browns come out and they get to CJ Stroud, no contest, Browns win. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I like CJ Stroud to spin it. There was a couple plays he made in that Indy game, where he's that fadeaway pass to what's his name. Um, yeah, that I'm impressed. I think he's got such a good pocket presence, and I think he's elusive enough that he'll be able to get away from this Browns team. Browns are 3-5 on the road too. Texans 6-3 at home. Uh, I mean, I like the Texans. I almost like them enough. That might be my pick for the WonderLay is Texans +2.
All right. I don't mind the Texans in this game, although I'm really torn on it, but I don't think they go any further than this game. They're just really young. They're going to be dangerous down the road, and I think this is really good for their experience as far as making the playoffs goes for future years. But I see that they can win this game because it's in Houston, but beyond that, I don't see them winning.
Did they get what's his name back? Their little wide receiver, the rookie wide receiver, Tank Dell.
I think he was pretty messed up, as if I remember.
I
They
thought
put him on the IR.
I
So
thought Tank Dell had a chance. I didn't know if he was back. Let me look real quick.
that Chiefs Dolphins game is going to be really good. But my parlay pick is going to be the Chiefs by 2.5. I just think they're too good of a playoff team. I think they can snap out of it in the playoffs and at least get a win at home in awful weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I love
And the
the Dolphins.
Dolphins are kind of in shambles right now. Like Jalen Waddle has been hurt. Tua is bound to get hurt whenever the time comes. Mostert, I think, was hurt last game, and they're playing in like negative 30-degree weather. So, yeah, I'll take the Chiefs.
I like their run game. I like their stable of running backs they have. I like how they mix up the run game, and I think that gives the Chiefs fits. Chiefs defense has been bang average all year, and their strength has been Chris Jones, and he hasn't done too much. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have enough around him to make him a viable threat in any way.
Yeah.
I
So,
personally,
are you locking the Texans in for your WonderLay bet?
we'll hold on to it for a second because
All right.
there's
I'll
another
wait.
bet that I really like as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I like Dolphins. I like Dolphins to win against the Chiefs. I think that's a really good game, like you were
Look at the
saying.
weather. It says 1 degrees.
1 degree. I think it's supposed to be 0 at kickoff and wind chills that make it -30, like you were saying.
Good God.
Um, Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Buffalo's pretty damn good at home, huh?
Yep.
I think this is the Bills' best chance to make a run.
Yeah, I do too.
Like of the past year. I don't know about future years, but
Like the Chiefs are
what they've
down.
faced, yeah, the Bengals aren't in it. The Chiefs are down. I mean, they can make a run all the way to the AFC Championship without having to see the Ravens. I think they've got a good shot.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, yeah, this is definitely probably one of the better years for the Bills if they're going to go to the Super Bowl. They're going to need to take advantage. So,
And I like them this year because they've been through some shit already.
yeah.
Like they went through the big team turmoil and like made it through it. And they're the freaking 2 seed when they could have missed the playoffs
I was about to
if they
say
lost to the Dolphins.
When they first started the year, I was like, anything can happen.
I want to say
Yeah.
they started like 2-4 or something. There was a very real
Yeah.
chance that they were on the outside looking in for the playoffs.
There was a scenario last week that they could have missed. If the
Yeah.
Jags won and Steelers won and they lost, they would have been out.
Yeah. Damn.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all like the Bills there though.
Yeah.
This next game might be a little interesting in my opinion. Cowboys Packers. If you look at the Cowboys against the spread, the past 5 games, they are 1-4 in playoff games against the spread. That's why I said hold off. I don't mind the Packers +7 here. I know it's in Dallas. I know Dallas's track record on turf. I I think there's a little bit of a rumbling.
The Packers are a gritty team. They're young and they don't
They
have
are.
playoff experience yet as far as their quarterback and some of their young wide receivers. But I mean, of a team that can come in and like not really hear the noise of how good the Cowboys are, I think the Packers kind of have a chance.
Well, and I think there's a little bit. I think there's a little bit of noise with the Cowboys too. Bill Belichick is on the market, and I've heard if Mike McCarthy either one loses this game or they get blown out by, I'd imagine the Niners whenever it happens. I heard that. I heard Jerry could make a real push at Bill Belichick too.
That would be some shit.
So I don't know. I think there's a lot going on there. I still don't like Dak Prescott. I don't know that I've ever been a huge Dak fan other than for fantasy, and even then he pisses me off because he throws interceptions.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. They're gonna need to win
if
this
CD
game.
Lamb plays like he's played the past 3 or 4 weeks, yeah, they're gonna win. All they got to do if they put Jair Alexander on CD Lamb though, they got problems. They got big problems.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens there. I think that'll be a really good game though. Lions Rams.
I love this game.
This is
That
a
is good.
fantastic game.
This is
The
a
NFL
poetic.
scripts
This is
shit, man.
poetic
This is
game.
good stuff.
Oh, I tell you what too. I didn't get to mention this earlier. I think 44.5 is too low a number for this game. What do y'all think?
For what game?
For the
Oh,
Browns Texans? Have we seen
Yeah,
what
that could very
Flacco's?
well be a. I mean, everybody acts like the Browns' defense is great, but they will just blow up some weeks and give up like 40 points.
Yeah, very possible.
Very good Texans offense, very good Flacco offense for the Browns that's been putting up points. So that number intrigues me as well. I won't make an official pick yet.
Yeah.
Back to this Rams Lions. I think 51.5 is low key kind of low here as well. I think there could be a lot of points scored in this game. And rightfully so. Puka, what's his name? Cooper Kupp. Stafford's healthy. He's coming off a week off. Their little running back has had Kyron Williams. Has had
Dude, Kyron Williams has two touchdowns a game, like regardless.
Yeah. And then you look at the Lions. I mean, Jared Goff passed for 4,500 yards this year. Amon Ra's got 1,500. I mean, yeah, 30 tutties is insane.
There are no slouches. Dude, it's funny. Like I saw a crazy thing on Twitter. So the last time that the Lions were in the playoffs, or were good like they were this year, were like the two lowest crime years in Detroit. And so they're like, what the hell do we got to do around here to keep the Lions good? Because like it was crazy. Like the crime statistics from the last time they were in the playoffs to this year as well. Like the crime rates have dropped so significantly that they're like,
everybody's in good moods.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, nobody's in Detroit shooting each other. They're happy the Lions are good.
Was that in the 70s?
Good lord!
That's the last time they won a division. Was in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think
it
they made
was
the
something
play.
like this. Like the last time they'd won the division was like one of like the lowest years that year, and this year like the lowest for crime.
Wow,
good for them. Look at sports working.
I like the Rams in this game personally.
I
think they're very well rested against. I hate to call them young still, but it feels like every year the Lions are young. Like there's no maturing process, I guess. There's no seasoned veterans that come with that team. Somehow Jared Goff in his 8th year is not a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It feels like it's always the young Lions. They're young. They're young. It's like at what point
I don't see a world where the Lions blow them out. It's either
no.
It's either a tight ass game and the Rams or the Lions can win a 3-point game. Yeah, that can happen. But it's either a tight game or the Rams blow them out somehow. I just don't see it happening the other way around. I do not see the Lions blowing them out in any world.
I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. Last game, Eagles Bucks. This is also a very intriguing matchup. This is probably the worst matchup that the Eagles could have asked for as their first round matchup. It's a Bucks team that literally does nothing impressive but just play football. They go out and play football. That's all they do. Baker is going to throw to Mike Evans. We know that. Mike Evans is going to have 100 yards. We know that. They might not rush for 100 yards, but damn it,
I can see the under hitting in this game in a heartbeat.
I agree. But
this is going to be an ugly ass game.
Tampa Bay is going to find a way to win the game with under 300 total yards. It just does not make sense.
Put me down for my WonderLay bet. This is mine. I'm going to go the Bucks +3.
All right, I got you.
As much as I love Packers +7, and I will probably bet on that separately on the side, I think I got to go Houston +2 at home.
All right, we're bumping that to 3.5. By the way.
Yeah, that's fine. And I will also be taking the over in that game in a parlay as well.
I like a little side parlay of like Packers plus 10.5, over for Texans Browns, and then under for Bucks Eagles.
I'm cool with that if we want to throw that in there. Not as the WonderLay.
I'm just saying
but
that could be like a secondary. Yeah, that
as a
could be
community
secondary.
funds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's your pick this week?
I'm going Chiefs by 2.5. So or the parlay is going to be Chiefs by 2.5, Bucks plus 3.5, and Texans plus 3.5.
Nice. I like it.
And the odds on that are going to be pretty good because those are all close to the real line.
Yeah.
Last week we smacked one.
We did hit last week, and we added. So what we did with the the national championship under, is we did a side bet with that, and that hit as well. So we were green goblin last week. We were green bean machine.
Green bean.
Green bean, baby. Green bean. All right, let's get into some tweets real quick. This came out about 20 minutes before we were 20 minutes before I was getting on. Yeah. NCAA is expected to levy unprecedented penalties for NIL-related violations committed by Florida State, including a 3-game suspension for their assistant coach and a disassociation from the booster collective from disassociation from its booster collective and the booster. From what I could find in my short time in reading, this is kind of weird because I kind of thought this is what NIL was for. I guess direct contact from a booster to a recruit was a no-no. But if it's indirect, then it's okay. I don't understand because you didn't give us any restrictions when it came to NIL, NCAA. So
I didn't know you could get sanctioned for anything relating to NIL anyways.
I didn't either. And I don't know. I got to be honest. I don't know that it's legal that you stop the collective
bargaining. I think that's.
I don't think you can do that because that's playing with people's wages. And we already have lawsuits that we talked about last week for kids not playing. And you're getting sued for lost wages for them not being eligible. So I don't think this is going to go over well. I think this could get very ugly.
Florida State's in shambles.
Why they chose Florida State, I don't know.
I don't either.
That just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I wonder if this is a payback for filing. Didn't Florida State file a lawsuit against the football committee for not having them in or something?
They did.
But the committee is independent of the NCAA.
Yeah, it's not
true.
Not the same entity.
I can't imagine they're not holding each other's hands at some point.
True.
Yeah.
I'd imagine they're in bed together.
Florida State is just up a creek right now, dude.
Here are the penalties too.
If Norvell can get out of that, he needs to do it.
Yeah.
I just don't know where he goes other than Alabama. And Alabama's not going to take him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. If Alabama throws a job at him, then he needs to take that in a heartbeat. But I don't think he will go anywhere else.
I'll tell you what could be really interesting is if Harbaugh does leave, and what's his name down at LSU takes the Michigan job, you could be looking at Alabama and LSU both open, and the potential of Kirby Smart. I don't think Kirby Smart goes to the Falcons, but potentially you could be looking at Georgia, Alabama, and LSU open in the same offseason. That's insane.
That is nice.
This is going to be one of the most intriguing coaching carousels of
in a long time.
NFL and college.
Within the same 24-hour time frame that Nick Saban retired, Bill Belichick also resigning as the Patriots head coach,
and Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I can't. There's no time in history that's happened.
No, three seemingly like goats.
Three good.
Yeah,
all three of them.
Because Pete Carroll won a Super Bowl.
And
damn near won 3 national championships in a row.
Yep.
And then you got Bill Belichick, 7 Super Bowls?
6.
6 or 7.
6 Super Bowls?
6. He went to 10.
And then Nick Saban got
7
total national
championships? Yeah, stupid number. Here's the penalties that are coming with this Florida State sanction, supposedly. We'll see what happens. 2-year probation, 2-year show cause order for the assistant coach, including a suspension from the next 3 regular season games, so the first 3 games of the year, and a 2-week restriction on recruiting communication and required attendance at an NCAA regional rules seminar. LOL.
Oh God, that was the worst thing ever.
A restriction from off-campus recruiting during the fall of 2023 for the assistant coach. So I guess that
So
happened.
this past year.
A 3-year disassociation from the booster. That's weird.
Hmm.
I don't know how you can do a 1-year disassociation from the collective. That I don't know is legal.
So you're telling me the booster can still put up money from the collective, but they just can't have any contact with said booster.
No, I mean they're disassociated with the collective. They cannot gain from that. They cannot take the money from that collective is
Collective
how I'm
account.
reading it, which I don't know if that's legal unless you change the name, maybe. I don't know. Transfer funds. A
Yeah,
five
they're getting their
thousand
money
dollar
switched around.
a $5,000 fine. Okay, cool. 1% of the football budget. Okay, 1% of Florida State's football budget. I think Florida State's football budget is 500 million. So that's $500,000. So 500,000 and $5. $505,000.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice.
Got him, guys. Just say the
Quick
fucking
math.
budget. Fuck that 5,000.
Yeah.
A 5% reduction in football scholarships. I mean, this is damn near the death penalty. A 5% reduction in football scholarship over the next 2 years, a reduction in official visits, a reduction in football recruiting communications for a total of 6 weeks during the 23, 24, 24, 25 years, and a reduction in number of in-person recruiting days 23, 24 year by 6, and then 18 during the spring of 24. Jeez Louise. 18 different visit days have now been cut out at Florida State. You know how big those visits are going to be then for their visit
Yeah,
days?
I mean, if you
Holy.
get an invite to Florida State, congratulations.
Yeah, well, have fun at the party. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Dang.
massive. Yeah, very interesting. We'll definitely keep in touch with this and we'll see what comes of it next week. I threw this in here today. This is a D2 school, one of the HBCU D2 schools out east. Bluefield State's head coach, who actually began the program for them, was let go, was fired. Kind of an interesting one. I saw a lot of mixed reactions on Twitter about this one. Actually, not a lot of mixed reaction. A lot of the same reaction of why. Because I want to say Bluefield State was pretty competitive, and it's kind of impressive
Yeah,
for the
and
school
they
that's
they
only been around
recruit
for.
they recruit Charleston pretty heavy and offered a bunch of kids down here. So I was um, the guy that came down seemed like a good dude. I can't remember what the fellow's name was, but seemed like a good dude. Like the program, they weren't bad last year. I don't know
Mm-mm.
if I remember him talking about it right. So I was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I want to say they were about middle of the road in that is it SIAA conference? Is that what they're in?
The SEAC.
Yeah, yeah, is it C or is it SI?
It's SIAC.
Okay,
We just call
it's
it SEAC.
got it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't understand that one. I mean, and he's the guy who started the program.
I
I
don't
mean,
think the program's more than 6 or 7 years old either, so
so yeah, weird.
kind of a weird situation there.
They want Dion.
Yeah, I threw
Bill,
this one in
Bill
here.
Belichick. They're going after Pete Carroll and Bill.
I threw this one in here because this is really, really interesting. So Carson Newman just hired their head coach. Their head coach was the old offensive coordinator for Navy. And now they've just hired a offensive coordinator, who was what was he? Was he the quarterback coach? I think he was the quarterback coach at Air Force. So he's doing it right. I mean, he's going and getting the guys who have been running the triple option.
Yeah,
So it's going to be very interesting to see how Carson Newman does in this adjustment period. I think it
yeah,
takes a year or two to finally get everybody on the same page and to actually run what you want to run. But a very, very well put together staff so far.
yeah. And Coach Ingram, I met him at the Army Navy game and talked to him for like damn near an hour, and he is a really good dude. Knows ball. Was gonna him and Maurice were two of the finalists for the Citadel job. So like talk to him then, kind of talk shop with him a little bit. But he's a really good dude. Wherever obviously Carson Newman's where he's at, but he'll get that place going here pretty soon. He's a good guy and obviously surrounded himself with some good folks. So
Yeah, very
Doing them
interesting.
right.
And no military affiliation, if I'm not mistaken, at Carson
no,
Newman.
Carson Newman don't have none of that.
Okay, just making sure. That'll be very interesting. I want to see what they can do there. I wonder if they could
Yeah,
turn that into, I don't want to say Harding because I don't want to judge
but something.
the triple
Some
option by Harding, but Yeah, almost. I mean, hell, Army and Navy. Army was rocking 4 or 5 years ago. Damn near beating OU in football games. Um, beating. I mean, ranked, going to bowl games regularly. Um, yeah, I'm intrigued by this one. That'll be. That is a team that I would like to keep up with next
Yeah,
fall.
we'll have to see how they're doing next year.
From Carson Newman to Carson Newman. Little D2 athletics. This dude had himself a day.
Shooter.
64 points. And I believe the final was like 100-50 something. So he outscored the other team. Yeah, he outscored Newberry.
It's all
18 threes.
fundamentals, boys.
18
All
threes is
fundamentals.
nuts.
Yeah,
18 fucking threes.
That's feeling it, man. You put up, let alone you take 18 threes in a game. You're feeling it. You make 18 threes. Good for you, dog.
And
Just
from what
keep
I've
going there, guy.
and so what happens when you like something, Elon's got it down where you're getting alerts.
You're getting nothing but Carson Newman men's
Dude,
basketball.
I'm getting Carson Newman athletics as I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I don't mind it.
Yeah.
They've got National Player of the Year or National Player of the Week. Yeah, they won 105-77 in that game, by the way.
Made 73% of their shots. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's an insane number.
That's a lot of points.
Wow.
Yeah, so Carson Newman basketball. Also one to keep an eye on, I guess. Would be gonna be very interesting. I think we might try to cover a little bit of the D2 tournament this year too.
Yeah, see about the we'll do some basketball stuff.
We'll do some.
I wonder if any Naz was really good. They were in it last year.
They were Northwest
They made it
Missouri
away,
was
I think.
been pretty good for a
Northwest
while.
Missouri is always, I feel like, pretty good.
Tech's on a 10-game win streak. Men's basketball's on a 10-game win streak.
How about
Could
that?
That's
Could
good.
be a little
They're
force
actually
to be
good
reckoned with.
now. They were not good while we were
No,
there.
they weren't the best, that's for sure.
Yeah, got a couple bounce back kids that have been pretty good. So
Yeah,
we'll see what they can do. Okay, last little thing we want to talk about real quick. Coaches. We mentioned them quickly earlier. But Bill Belichick terminating, mutually parting ways, supposedly.
Mutually agreed to leave.
Yeah, we'll see, because he didn't. From what we've heard, he didn't have a great relationship with Mr. Kraft, old Bob.
Yeah. Robert.
Interesting one there. Prediction on Belichick. Where do y'all think he goes?
I have absolutely no idea if he continues coaching. I don't see him going to college.
Yes, I was like, I have no idea. I don't know if he's done or what.
I'd be willing to bet he stays coaching. And I think
I don't see him in college anywhere.
No,
I could see him like out west, maybe like the Raiders. Well, I think the Raiders like their new coach. I like the Raiders' new coach.
Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce is a very good dude.
I mean, the Chargers have a quarterback that can play, and if he can beef up that defense and get a running back and or another receiver or two in there, the Chargers can be good.
And it's rumored that Arthur Smith is willing to make a little venture too down in Atlanta. Atlanta supposedly interested in hiring Mr. Belichick as well. So I think that would be very interesting. We'll see.
He could end up a lot of places.
The Panthers are also very intriguing because I feel like Bill could go and be the GM for the Panthers and hire Mr. Saban potentially as his head coach, reunite him with Bryce Young, and maybe
do you think Saban's done, or do you think if the right thing came along in the NFL,
he's done the NFL already, though.
I feel like he's done.
I think that could be.
I think he's done.
New challenge, maybe, especially relinking up with Bill. Maybe it's outside. I'm spitballing because I think what'd they say? They gave him an office over the football field, and he said you can get an ass chewing from here or from the field. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I think I agree. I think he is happy, and I think he is pretty done. He's been talking about it for a while. Also, big guy that hates NIL. Did not fully realize that until this year.
With the game of college football going right now, and I guess
it takes away his dynasty. It takes away his ability
to build a pro
talent.
It's hard to retain those 4 and 5 star dudes that don't come in and play immediately because they're like, oh, I can hit the portal and go play at LSU, and then you're playing against them. You know,
dynasties are gone or unsustainable now, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know how you continue to be a top level team when you can't keep depth anymore because it just gets poached by everybody else because of money.
Agree. Who do y'all think is the Bama hire?
Well, I thought it was going to be Lanning, but he made it clear that he is not leaving.
I don't think Dabo's out of the question.
I don't like it. I don't think it's out of the question. I don't like it. I think Dabo has been such a big advocate of not liking NIL as well. And you can see by his recent success or lack thereof that maybe that
It's starting to
philosophy
take
is
a
not
hold.
going to work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind Dabo as a coach 5 years ago, but I think his lack of success recently is a little bit of a concern for me. Because if you look too at Dabo, he has only been successful with very good quarterbacks who have gone on to have NFL careers. So
Yeah.
he's been very very much carried in that sense by that. And you see what happens. And honestly, DJ wasn't a terrible quarterback. Um, he proved that going to Oregon State and having a good year. So we'll see what happens. I don't think Dabo leaves, but then again, I think Dabo's looking for a way out almost. I think he
Yeah.
feels
I
like
think,
Clemson's a dead end job.
I mean, so
Sarkisian's not bad, but
Sark getting a bad one.
Hard to leave
I,
Texas.
I wouldn't leave Texas for Alabama if I was in his shoes.
It's
Not
I
in
mean,
today's world.
I mean,
not today's
now
game.
that you're
Yeah,
in the SEC, it's almost like a lateral move.
Yeah.
it
And
is.
what incentive does Alabama bring?
Yeah,
Like
no,
financially.
oh wow, look
All
at
it
that.
is
You've got
literally
you've got
literally
oil money
just
in
history.
Texas.
Just history is all
Yeah.
Bama would bring. Comfortable. I mean, 'cause with Saban still being in the building, I mean, he'd be very comfortable as their head coach. But again, why? There's no need with the NIL money that Texas has, their funds and their boosters.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah,
I
I
like
don't
the
think it's a need to
Washington.
leave.
I think the Washington guy could happen. DeBoer.
DeBoer is interesting. DeBoer has had success every single place he's been because if you remember correctly, DeBoer was a Division III football coach, I think, to start his career.
Mm-hmm.
And has
Yeah.
worked his way all the way up
And he was
to
where at
Washington.
Sioux Falls.
He was at Sioux Falls, and then he was at Boise. Was he at Boise before Washington?
He was somewhere in
Or
Utah.
Fresno? Or was he at Fresno?
I think it was Fresno.
It was,
Fresno.
yeah, that might be right. Yeah, I
Uh,
think that's right. I remember that.
and then from Fresno to Washington. It's kind of fast tracked, I think. Um, I think it would be a good fit. I don't know though. He's also rumored to be on the Seahawks wish list. So we'll see. I don't think he goes anywhere in my opinion, but again, you never know.
Yeah.
Me personally, the first person I thought of when that Bama job came open was Sark. I immediately thought Sark because that'd almost be like an internal hire.
Yeah, I mean, hell, he was there, what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3. You're right.
Yeah.
I think he'd fit in very well. I think Kiffin would be really fun, but I just don't think it happens. I think his
I don't
personality
see
is a
that.
little bit too big for it.
Yeah.
But the rumor I saw today was Tommy Rees, their offensive coordinator. Just
I could very well
um,
see it being a not huge name guy and Saban kind of like mentoring him into the
Cultivates
role. Somebody he can manipulate a little bit because Saban's going to have a huge word and a huge say in who this is.
mhm.
It's not like it's just like Saban's gone and they just are picking.
He's still in the
They're
building.
just pulling a name out of a hat. Yeah.
The man mutually left yesterday and was at work today. So he's
Yeah.
still there.
So wait, so what's up? So he's still
Oh yeah, he's still working. He's a special advisor for their football team.
nice.
He's just no longer the head coach.
Good for him.
Yeah, so very interesting. Very interesting. Interesting day. In
I
football.
almost don't know if I would if I'm a head coach, I
That'd be
almost
weird.
don't know if I like that.
I don't know if you can get like full respect from everyone.
Yeah, because there's oh, we've got Nick Saban in the building, the best,
Is it your team at that point?
the
That's
best
why
Like do
coach.
you have the full authority to do what you want?
that's
Yeah,
why I think Tommy Rees makes sense. Tommy Rees or
Yeah.
Sarkisian. I think it has to be an Alabama guy. It has to be someone
An
that
insider in
has
some
been there
sense.
recently. I think Tommy Rees slides in and everyone's like, "Oh, he was the OC," and then you get to practice and he's the one running practice, and it's like, oh, I guess he's the head coach,
Yeah,
just because
I
Saban's
can
in the
see that for
building,
sure.
it just like a low key guy, kind of like you were saying, Jack, and undercover, not undercover, but like not a big name guy that you just bring in. And he's getting mentored from Saban, who's still in the building. Saban leaves in a year or two. And they're like, okay, like it's just normal. Like that's just what we've been doing. It's the
Yeah.
Alabama way, the Patriot way,
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
who knows?
someone that doesn't have their own like
They're not changing
reputation,
much.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that'd be the thing bringing in DeBoer. It's as cool as that would be. That's a change. That's a new face. That's a new staff. That's a new way of playing.
That's too much change for that program
I
at
think
one time.
I think they're
I
smart enough
think
that
they're
they don't
trying
want
to
to do that.
keep kind of the same. You're just keeping essentially.
And
You're
why would
just
you
keeping
not?
that ship sailing.
Why would you not?
Yeah,
Because
you're
you've
keeping that
been
ship
probably the
sailing
best
in the same
program
direction.
in college football history.
Well,
Yeah.
something too. If I'm a head coach, I don't know that I want that job. If I'm Kalen DeBoer and I got a good setup in Washington, I got my people. Um, expectations are 8 to 10 wins usually. Oh, this year we went to the national championship. That's an anomaly. That's not the expectation. The expectation at
The
Bama,
expectation of Bama is you better get there.
12 to 14
Mhm.
wins every single year.
Yeah.
It's that's a tough job. That's a really tough job. I think there's only
Yeah.
one person in the country that could step in and it run smoothly, and that's old Kirby Smart, just because that's what he's been doing at Georgia too. So don't know, man. A very, very interesting time to
I
see what
am
happens.
interested to see where it goes.
For sure. For sure. We got anything else we want to talk about, gentlemen?
Reckon we hit it all.
Nope, I think we got it.
Perfect. We will have a guest next week. I guarantee it. Whether it'll be Mr. High himself or Mr. Ship himself. We'll see.
There we go.
We'll get it all squared away and make sure we have someone though. We appreciate y'all listening. Y'all tune in next week. Have a great week. God bless, and y'all have a good one.